And it looks like we're live. Hello, boys and girls, cats and dogs. We are an inclusive channel around here. And I want everybody to feel welcome. Most everybody. Remember to behave nicely. As Granny D would tell us, be nice, don't be ugly. Anyway, here we are. Today is Tuesday. It's a topic Tuesday. Although, generally speaking, we don't stick to the topic all that long, but that's okay too, anyway. Hey, Roberta. Hey, Shatika. Glad to see both of you here. Um, anyway, yeah, so we just got started. Today is Topic Tuesday. Let me just run through my normal weekly schedule. Topic Tuesday, Tuesdays at 2 p.m. Eastern. I do Wednesday free for all. Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern, immediately following Granny D. Thursdays, I usually don't post anything. Fridays, it's either going to be something recorded or a live stream, or as with last Friday, nothing. Hey, Jackie. So, I call it Formless Friday because I don't need to plan it that carefully. Saturdays, I usually don't post anything. Sundays, I have Sunday readings. Sometimes they're recorded, sometimes they're live. It's always a reading of poetry, and I love doing that. And people seem to like it as well. Hey, Maureen. Mondays, I have Monday Men. In January and February, I've been doing a lot of reruns because it's hard to schedule new people. It is. And then we're back at Tuesdays for Topic Tuesdays. Today, our topic is compare and despair. How do we compare ourselves to other people? If we are YouTubers, how do we compare ourselves to other people's channels? Crafters, how do we compare our work to the work of other people? Designers, how do we compare our work to other people? It doesn't matter what you're doing. Just being aware of how you compare yourselves to other people. I mean, the context in which I first heard that phrase, compare and despair, it had to do with fitness and sexual attraction. And believe you me, I know there's a lot of compare and despair there. And I don't think there needs to be. Uh, but let's talk about that. What else is going on? Announcements. I used to have a list of announcements. I have patterns on Ravelry. I have, Etsy, YouTube. I have, and, Cash App, PayPal, all of that stuff. I don't have Etsy. I'm sorry. Forgive me for saying that. I no longer use Etsy. I have merch on Teespring. There's a link in there's a link tree link. I need to pay more attention to that and get some more stuff up. What else is going on? Well, I don't know. So everybody tell me, what is on your hook, what's in your cup. For most of us, it's midday. So, what did you or will you have for lunch? I had lunch today with Granny Square, or also known as Andrea. She is my local yarn buddy, and I love her dearly. Maureen says her pups need feeding. Gotta pay attention to the pups. Maureen, I would really, really love it if you posted pictures of your pups to the Bearded Yarn Dudes Facebook group. Because there is a Bearded Yarn Dudes Facebook group. And also, the page is basically for news, the group is for community. So, anything you want to share, please share to the Facebook group. I need to pay more attention to it myself, actually. I also have memberships. I am no longer doing Patreon. I have YouTube memberships with various benefits. I need to pay more attention to that as well. Most recently, I posted a coupon code for a discount that is available to members only for Ravelry patterns, um, which will apply to every Ravelry pattern that I post in the future as well. Um, what else is going on? So, people, tell me what's going on with you. Um, let's see. Anyway, yes, Andrea, also known as Gwenny Square, and I met for lunch, had a delightful time. This local seafood restaurant, I had a shrimp jambalaya, and I brought home some leftovers. I don't know whether it will reheat well. I guess we're going to find out. Some things don't really reheat well, and some things do. So you never know. Hey, Crystalline Sky. Washcloths. Oh. Honestly, I think every washcloth I have ever used was made of terry cloth. I don't think I've ever used a crochet washcloth in my life. I've made lots of them. Don't know that I've ever used one. I should make that a challenge, shouldn't I? Oh, hey, Jackie, you got up a little late. Oh, dear. Well, I'm sorry you've been having pain. Dana, hey, Dana, so glad to see you. Dana, our topic today, although we haven't really gotten to it yet, I did mention it, but we haven't really started talking about it yet, is compare and despair, comparing ourselves to other YouTubers, to other crafters, to other people who do anything that we want to do. I mean, and as I was saying, the first time I ever heard the phrase was in a context having to do with fitness and sexual attraction. So, I mean, life is full of opportunities to compare and despair, but it's also full of opportunities to not compare and to, determine what we ourselves are worth. And I think that the best competition is with, if it's about achievement, it's what did I achieve yesterday and can I do better today? Yesterday being a metaphor. Um, in terms. I mean, I think that is the best metaphor. I mean, can we be better than what we have achieved to this point? Can we achieve even more? Is what we've achieved enough? Oh, that could be a totally different topic for Topic Tuesday. What is enough? Oh my gosh. I should make a note of that, shouldn't I? But I won't. I'll forget it. It'll go out of my mind as before the hour is over, I'm sure. Um, but anyway, that's what we're talking about. And so what else is going on? So, Dana, I'm sorry I haven't been to your room as often lately as I usually do. But, winter is winter and David is David. And sometimes I retreat. And that's okay. I've gained enough perspective to know that winter comes to an end at some point. Jackie, I think that's a great way to think. Everyone has their own unique way with their own crafts. Yes. Oh, Crystalline, yes. Crystalline says she refuses to let people bring her down by words and actions. Usually, it's me. I'm the one who brings me down. It's not what somebody else does. It's me. So, um, and I'm an old guy, and I'm still learning how to stop doing that. It's one of those life skills that it takes a whole lifetime to learn. That's what it is. Anyway, that's a good observation, Dana. She says she used to compare herself to others till she found out how much work and time they put in. And with the same amount of time or work, she could have similar results. I, in areas of life outside of yarn, um, I used to do a lot of comparing. I used to think things should be easy. I used to think because I'm smart, I shouldn't have to work as hard. I think being smart is actually a handicap in some ways. Um, because I think in a lot of those other areas of life outside of yarn, if I had just applied myself diligently and consistently, I would have gained the skills that I despaired over not having, rather than just being able to you know bitch and moan about it. So, and now at my advanced age, I'm just learning that sort of thing. And I guess that's okay. Everybody takes as long as it takes to learn what you need to learn. There's still time to, achieve things. I mean, I'm never going to be an Olympic medalist, but I never wanted to be an Olympic medalist. Do you know, Dana, I think what you say might be true, but I think the efforts to dim my light come from inside of me more than anybody else because it's my own self-doubt. It's the stuff I was taught to believe about myself. I think that is a much bigger handicap than anything that anybody else could do. I don't know what other people are saying or doing. And frankly, I don't care. I do what I do. I say what I say, you know? Either you like me or you don't. I can live with either choice. But um, it's I can't externalize that thing because I know that the biggest limits that I have, speaking for myself personally, the biggest limits I have are inside of me. And at this very advanced stage, I'm still working on overcoming those limits. And it's always going to be a process. It's never going to be 100% success. I think 100% success is, I don't think it's a reasonable goal for anyone, for one thing. And I think that, making incremental goals and just reaching those is enough. So, anyway, there we go. Exactly, Dana. I like how you put it. Never say you want to learn to read, but never pick up a book. Exactly. I mean, and I've had a lot of times in my life when I would have said, I want to do this, I want to do that. But I didn't know what the first step was, let alone any steps after that. So I had I don't remember who said this. It's that a goal without a plan is a dream. Um, so I still every day I have to learn that anew, and I think that's true of most life lessons. We have to relearn them every day. So for those who have just come in, we're talking about comparing ourselves with others. I mean, at first we were talking about other YouTube channels, other crafters, other people who do what we do. But it's true in so many ways, in so many parts of our lives. The whole compare and despair thing. Um, Jen Maureen, I totally agree with you. I think that there are a lot of people who would say they agree with you, but they still want to see cookie cutter models. They don't understand. They say they do, and they probably think they do, but they don't. Um, there is no cookie cutter model of a person, of a life, of a career, of creation, of art. So but there are people who want to see that. I mean, there might be behavioral patterns that are common to people who succeed in all of those fields. That's not cookie cutter. That's commonalities. Oh, did I just have an insight there? There's a difference between cookie cutter thought and recognizing commonalities. That just might be an insight. I need to write that down, don't I? So, I don't care if people don't like what I do on my channel. Uh, okay. So I'm seeing a mirror image. That's why I'm a little confused with this sweater thing. By the way, this is my scrap sweater. Look at all the different kinds of yarn I have going on. It's um, it's a basic crew neck pattern. I think I got it from Bag O' Day, but I just used different kinds of yarn that I had left over. I will write that down. There we go. Wrote it down. Oh, thank you, Dana, but it's not all that amazing. I just threw together different yarns that I had. I mean, this bit with the different stripes. I just changed yarn at the same place on every row. And this colorful yarn. This was yarn I could not wait to get rid of. It was it was pretty awful acrylic yarn. I used to say that it was the kind of yarn that gives acrylic a bad name because it felt so awful. But in the context of this sweater, it's okay. The yellow yarn, I don't remember what my original intention was for all of this yellow yarn, but by golly, I had a bunch of it. But the yellow stuff is very nice. The other things were from various projects. So I like the way this turned out, actually. See my sleeves? The sleeves match. I should hold them up like that. See, they match. Yeah. But when I had lunch with Granny Square today, she asked me if I had a pattern for this. And I was telling her the pattern is just any kind of a basic crew neck pullover pattern, and I just worked with the yarn that I had. I would not prescribe any kind of yarn combinations or changing at this point or that point. It's if anybody wants to do something like this, just take stock of the yarn that you have and try to be consistent. See now, making consistent sleeves like this, that was a challenge, but it worked out. An amazing cow? Oh gosh. I would honestly, I really do think that the pattern was a basic crew neck pullover pattern that I got from Crystal Bag o' Day. I don't even remember, but I'm pretty sure that's what it was. And you can see the neck is a little big for me, and that's okay too. Um, well, Crystalline, Crystalline says she doesn't have enough scraps for a sweater. I have made so many scrap scarves and worn them out, especially when I lived in New York and it got really cold. I would wear them out and I would get so many compliments on that kind of on the scarves I was wearing. A scrap cow. I'll make a note of that too. By the way, I haven't mentioned it yet today, which is surprising for me. Um, my friend Gary Boston on Instagram, his Instagram name is Gary Knits, Gary Rides. He's doing a knit along, crochet along fundraiser. Actually, he's doing them all year long. The one for the first quarter of this year is the crochet pattern is my Alicia shawl pattern. Um, there is a Ravelry group. Nightbot will have probably told you about it already. There is a Ravelry group dedicated to the knit along, crochet along. Um, it's called the End AIDS Cow. Um, I think that's wonderful. Um, Crystalline has about 300 yards of yarn in her scrap basket. Actually, I have a bunch of leftover lion brand mandala. I I did one dog sweater with it already. I'll probably do more of those because also I have a campaign. I'm not really. It's certainly not any kind of a competition or contest or giveaway. There's no prize, but I am encouraging people to make pet sweaters and blankets to donate to pet rescue organizations on their local, regional, or national level. Um, there is a blog post about that on my blog. So anyway, yeah, I have quite a lot of scrap stuff. My problem is that some of it is like 100% acrylic and washable, and some of it is like 100% wool and not. So I have to be careful that way. Mm. So have I missed anybody who has come in I like to say hello to everybody, and I apologize if I ever miss people. Hey, Lisa. Oh, Lisa, I want to see pictures of that. Please post them in the Facebook group, Bearded Yarn Dudes group. Um, I would love to see that. I always want to see what people accomplish, what people complete, what the stuff they do, um, because I think it's wonderful. I think we all have to encourage each other. Everybody has been so wonderful in encouraging me with, you know, my designs and everything else that I do. Um, so I really want to return the favor, and I want everyone to be encouraged. Excellent, Lisa. I look forward to seeing those pictures. Anybody else, if you have pictures, I would love to see them in the Facebook group, Bearded Yarn Dudes. Okay, Nightbot just told you about the knit along, crochet along. Um, I think that if you already own the Alicia Shawl pattern, there's a way to contribute anyway. I don't really know what it is. I promised a portion of the sales proceeds of the Alicia Shawl pattern to the cause. So y'all gotta do me good and buy that pattern and more patterns. Daddy needs pattern sales. Honestly, actually, between YouTube and Ravelry, Daddy now has health coverage. Daddy can afford to get sick now. Or get in a car accident. So anyway, yeah, as I was saying before, I had a really lovely, lovely lunch with Granny Square, also known as Andrea. She is my local yarn buddy. She's I met her because she works in the office of my optometrist. So when I went to have my eyes checked, thank God I didn't need a new prescription because do you know how expensive these glasses are? I mean, let alone my preference for pretty frames. These lenses are so complex because I'm blind, pretty much. Even with the glasses on, I'm not very good. But anyway, so I met her. I was like, I think he had put drops in my eyes to dilate my pupils. And so I was sitting there waiting for them to take effect, and I had a project bag and pulled out something to crochet. I don't even remember what it was. And so that's how we started talking. And she became my local yarn buddy. And we've become besties since then. So, anyway, I had a lovely lunch with her today. And she sends her greetings to everybody. She's been very busy with work, so she hasn't been on YouTube as much as she would like. Um, but anyway, we came up with a lot of really fun ideas that I hope you will see in the future on this channel. Um, Only why? So, who else has just come into the room? Let us know what's going on, what's on your hook, what's in your cup, what'd you have for lunch, that sort of thing. Or what will you have for lunch? I don't know where in the world you are. It might be dinner time where you are. It might be breakfast time where you are. Who knows? Okay. There was something I wanted to make a note of that I haven't yet. Okay. I just had a thought. It almost died of loneliness, but I did write it down. That's what happens if I don't make a note of things. The thought might never come back again. Oh no. Hey, Shonda. Yay. Anyway, yeah, that's how my mind works. If I don't make a note of things, uh, that thought, that idea that seems perfectly brilliant in the moment, it might go away forever. And I speak from experience because that has happened many, many, many times when I would try to retrieve what seemed to be a brilliant thought, and then it was like, I have no idea what you're talking about. But then again, I guess that's life. It's 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 all in what you observe, isn't it? Do you know what I realized? I have not put up the link if anybody wants to come up. If y'all want to join me up here, if anybody wants to join me up here, please um, do. I just posted the link. Okay. Oh, Shonda agrees about writing things down. Yeah. And then another problem I have, I'll make a list and then I'll lose the list. In fact, I owe so many people uh giveaway prizes, gifts that I had promised, all that sort of thing. Um and it's I had a list that I can't find. I might just have to make a public statement about declaring myself back at ground zero for that. Um, I probably already have a reputation for not fulfilling promises in that way, um, because sometimes it takes a while. Yeah. Oh, Shonda, yeah, that's like putting, any kind of an item. You put it somewhere where you think you can find it, and you can't. A lot of things I just learned to every day put it in the very same place. I used to have, like, on a table right beside the front door of my apartment, there was a bowl, and that's where my pocket change and my keys would go. I always knew where my keys were. And anytime I deviated from that, I did not know where my keys were. And it took me a long time to learn that. So that's a patterned behavior that I had to learn in order to cope with life, because life is hard. Oh, Dana's working out in the background. I haven't said it, Dana, but I think you look great. Well, I thought you looked great before. I always tell people, it doesn't matter to me, what your weight or fitness level is, but what matters is your own happiness with yourself. Granny! Yay! Now my day is complete. I saw Granny and Granny. Oh my lord. I just started thinking about my own Granny, who is long gone. Let's talk about puppies, please. Okay, is anybody in a blue dress today? Oh, hey, Chris. Oh, Chris, I just got a little weepy because Granny D is here, and I had lunch with Granny Square, and then it made me think about my own granny, who died in 2001. Thank you, Granny D. Thank you, Chris. Granny D, actually, my granny was. Hey, Inga. My granny was funny too. Um, I really regret that I did not spend enough time with her in her later years, but she was very funny, and it is possible that I got some of my sense of humor from her, although she would never have been as naughty as I am. Well, she might have been, who knows? But yeah, interesting. Granny D, what you're saying is you remember the funny things she said. The things that I remember most strongly were the critical things. And then other people would tell me how funny she was. And my dad also had a sense of humor um, that was really very cute, but I didn't always see it or perhaps chose to ignore it. So I think it came down from through the family, the sense of humor. But oh well. Anyway, there's still more to learn and more growth to experience, no matter how old you get. And I'm pretty darn old. Well, Granny D, why aren't you getting your nails redone? Oh, Granny D, it's only by a year or two. And at our age, a year or two doesn't matter. Oh, yeah. About your nails, that's probably the reason I haven't gotten my hair cut, and I do need to have it cut. I mean, I do keep it short, but as soon as I can see a bed head where, like, part of it is raised up or something, I recognize that I need to have it cut. I like to keep it short because it's rather thin nowadays. When it was thicker, it was a lot better. Crystalline, I know exactly what you mean. I mean, a crystalline sky. I think based on what you're saying. Oh, hey, Carrot Boo. Uh, Crystalline. I hope that you learned from both of those grandmothers. Um, Even though there were probably painful experiences, I hope that there was learning and that you are a better person for it. Mm. I've actually never had my nails done because I have problems with absorbing enough iron. One of the symptoms of that is having flaky nails. So I always have to pay attention to my nails because flaky nails and working with yarn just not a good combination. So I always have to pay attention to my nails, but I've never had them done. I don't think I want to have them done. Uh, but at the same time, I still have to pay attention to them all the time. Oh, Dana, I cannot imagine how you would not make anyone who raised you proud. I think you are amazing. Oh, hey, Donna.
Hi, David.
Oh, hey, how are you?
I'm here. I'm awake, and I have to go to the hardware store later. We have to
Uh-oh.
we have to redo our bathroom. So yeah, Eh, it
There's
happened.
a lot of work that needs done in our house, but,
Uh
we
yeah.
don't have the budget for it right now.
I would if I could get the house redone how I wanted. It would take roughly about $150,000 because it needs to be leveled, and that right there is about thirty to $50,000.
What kind of foundation are you on?
Dirt, just there's no, it's just
Slab or a
mm-mm.
yeah, that
brick,
that
bricks and um braces or however.
the pillar type thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've got one side that far underneath the floor of the house is dirt, and the other side about 2.5 foot down.
Oy vey. Tell me
Yeah,
again where you are.
down south of Dallas, Texas.
I used to live in Dallas, actually.
I've only been here since June of last year.
June
Actually,
of last year. No,
yes.
June of maybe 2 years ago is when I left Dallas, actually. Anyway,
I was still in Oklahoma City.
I've been to OKC.
I'm sorry.
Well, there's a certain motel in OKC where I have had a good time before, but not everybody will know about it, and that's okay. They shouldn't, probably.
Yeah,
But
no, it depends on what event was going on at the hotel at the time, because
mm,
some of the events are a little sketchy, and some of them are okay, fine, no problem. I would go downtown to the bars and stuff and sit, have a beer, and people watch. That got hilarious.
oh, I'll bet, I'll bet.
Yes.
I had a good time in Dallas, uh, except for when I didn't.
Yeah.
Um, I was part of the time when I was there, I was very, very sick.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Fortunately, I lived across the street from the hospital.
Mm, it's good that you were close, but I'm sorry you were sick in the first place. That's
Yeah.
never fun.
Well, yeah, and it's funny because I would tell people I live right across the street, but because I was so sick, I could not remember the actual address.
Yeah.
I could point out the window. I would go, where Jimmy John's is over there. I
Hmm.
live above that, you know.
Yeah. And that's literally for the first 2 years I lived in Oklahoma City. They have the Gold Dome, and it was a bank building at one time. The first floor was regular brick, and then it was gold, and beautiful building. It's literally okay. You get off on Northwest 23rd Street. You're going to turn right. You find the Gold Dome. When you see the dome, you turn another right, and you go. That's how I would tell them to get to my house. And they're like, well, can't you just give me, I said, I do landmarks. Either you deal with them or not. I don't. And they're like, okay.
Yeah. People are commenting in the chat, and I can't keep up with it. I'm very sorry about that.
Yeah, that's
You
why
know,
you see
you
me doing.
all, I love you all. I'm glad you're here. Talk amongst yourselves.
Maureen said she was just in Arlington this weekend celebrating a grandkid.
I've
Congrats.
been to Arlington. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like Dallas. Dallas has a lot to recommend it. I don't think I would go back there to live, but I would like to go back there to visit.
I'm actually about half an hour south of that on Highway 45. So if I want to go to Dallas, cool, no problem. I can go. But where I'm at, my town, literally, I'm 4 blocks from Walmart.
What's the name of your town?
Ennis.
Sorry?
Ennis. Dennis without the D.
Ennis.
Mm-hmm.
I think I remember that town name, but I don't
Most
recall
people,
ever being there.
Most people would recognize Waxahachie and Corsicana.
Okay, if I were going from Dallas to Houston, would I have passed by it? Okay, then I probably never experienced Ennis.
Okay.
I only went to Houston once. The friend I was staying with was very, very active with a pet rescue organization. And that organization was taking part in a huge adoption event in Dallas.
Yeah.
So we went there one time, or rather in Houston. We went there one time, and
Oh, hey,
it's
Niecy.
actually the only time I was ever in Houston. Oh, Niecy's here. Hey,
Yes.
hey, Niecy.
Niecy, yeah, I hate to say it, but keep those temperatures. We were 68 yesterday, and I'm good.
You know, I think it was in the high 40s, low 50s when I went out earlier today. I don't know. I was
honestly have
going,
no clue.
okay, I can wear this sweater and my jacket. That's fine.
Okay, mine says 69, partly cloudy, but there's a wind out there, so it says it feels like 69, but it doesn't. It's going to feel colder than that because we have really high wind right now.
Okay. In Wilmington, North Carolina, right now it says 50 degrees Fahrenheit.
Okay, Maureen, if the cafe is still here, and it was let's see, 65, 75. Anytime after 1976, my boyfriend would know about it because his family, his mother is originally from here, and then when they got married, they moved here from Houston when he was 11, and he's 14 years older than I am.
I had an interview for a staff position at the Houston Grand Opera that would have been perfect for me. It was as if the job description was written for me, but I never got past the first interview. I was crushed. But I've never really been good at doing job interviews.
No.
So
I suck at that.
That could have been part of it. And I remember the last question was.
I'm sorry, I'm reading Dana. Dana, here's a little secret. If you happen to have a Fitbit, this will put your miles in. I cannot tell you the number of people that I've talked to, and they're like, I'm sitting here and just, like right now I'm doing single crochet, and I did single crochet for an hour. Oh, I went 5 miles. I'm like, yeah.
Well, people used to tell me I need to exercise more, and I'm going, do you have any idea how strenuous crochet is?
Especially when you're a designer. Dana.
Mm. Mm.
Okay. See, Maureen, 35. I'm 42. So, if it was around when I was 15, 16, then even though your dad's been out of here for over 30 years, if the cafe was still there, my boyfriend could probably find them.
Do you know, in the town where my dad grew up, there was a Browning's department store.
Mm-hmm.
You know, very small, local type thing.
Yeah.
Closed surely in the late 60s, early 70s. But I found a picture of a sign that I need to post somewhere because I think it's beautiful. I need to actually print it out because I think it's beautiful. In fact, what I need to do is to get my ex to enhance it because he knows all that stuff about the photo editing things that I can't
Good.
do. And he's that's a thing. Now, I with photo editing and the visual stuff, you know, when people do that sort of thing, I can see the difference. I can see that I can usually see that it's better after than it was before, but I don't always recognize the before needs it.
Yeah,
And
but
I
once you see it
certainly
after, it's
don't,
like,
well, not always. I certainly don't know how to accomplish the after.
no. Miss Granny D would like to know if you are staying on a while and give her a little bit. She'll be coming up if you don't mind.
Oh my goodness. Dana is asking about getting the picture, if we're talking about the picture of the department store, and turn it into a graph and
Mm-hmm.
crochet it.
Mm-hmm. Um.
I think that's a great
Oh,
idea.
there's a site. A lot of people have done it, and I can't remember what it is now, even though I have an account. Oh, Stitch Fiddle, and you can actually upload your photo or something, and it will graph it out for you. You can do single, half, double, double. However, if you want it 200 stitches
Do you
wide,
know,
it
actually,
will.
my sister is, you know, how I am with crochet, she is with counted cross stitch.
Mhm. And
And
Stitch Fiddle can do that
think
too.
that I think that you can translate photos into cross stitch patterns a lot more easily than into crochet patterns,
Yes.
but I can translate a cross stitch pattern into a crochet pattern.
Hmm.
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah. And like Dana was saying, you can make it grayscale or sepia if you want just tonal instead of multi changing colors. Instead of looking as pretty as your scrap sweater is, you can have it just tonal, like the ombres and stuff like that for the sepia and the grayscale. Sorry, it's
You
Lion
know,
Brand
you're making
Organic.
me think, and you know, I can't talk and think at the same time.
Good. That means you're designing.
Oh
Where's
my
your paper
gosh.
and pen?
Oh, yeah.
I know Foxy Creations, Petra. She
Hmm.
did a blanket for her husband, and I bel I want to say it was the Weeping Angel or something like that, but it was all black, white, and shades of gray. And she had showed, and it was a full size blanket. And
Hmm.
I'm like, how can somebody do that? Because I've never been able to do anything like that. I haven't exactly tried, but I'm not going to say I can't. I could not at this point in time. Now, later on, not a problem.
Joyce just came in. Hey, Joyce.
Yes. And Granny said, Linky, please. Yay.
And yeah, oh my gosh, I have to talk to my sister. Well, first I have to approach my ex about asking him to
The
enhance the photo,
yeah.
because I mean he really has that kind of visual stuff. It's funny. I mean, we were together for quite a few years, and we had these differing areas of talent. He had an eye for that kind of thing. He went to culinary school. He could taste something and tell you what was in it.
What spices and stuff. And it's
And I would say, okay, that's good, or okay, maybe I don't like it so much. But, I didn't have that kind of a discerning tongue or that kind of a discerning eye. But at the same time, I went to music school.
and you can
I
hear
could hear things.
it. Mm-hmm.
I taught him to love opera, and I hope he still does. But
Hi,
I could
Granny D.
hear things. Hey, Granny D.
Hey, lovely people.
So he would say that he didn't understand the things that I could hear. But at the same time, I was saying that I couldn't understand the things that he could taste or see.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, each of us has that sort of a thing that very often it's innate, but often we also train it.
Yeah.
So, with the ear especially, you train it. With the eye, you train it. With the tongue, you train it.
Yeah. When I first started learning crochet, once I learned these stitches, and I don't know how I can do it, but once I see a pattern, I can break it down. I can literally take the pattern from a picture and write it out.
Very often I can do the same thing.
But if I do that, then I'm infringing upon designers. Now, if you put a free pattern up there, I'll do it no problem. If it's like you have some paid for shawl patterns and out stuff, I will not do it for that because that takes away from you.
Dana says that once Granny's up here, it's a breath of fresh air. Are you saying that we're stale?
I'll cry now, Dana.
We have bad breath, apparently, or something like that.
They like my sissy sweet tea. She says, "What am I, chopped liver?"
Ah.
David, can you put us back a little bit so we can see more of the?
Yeah, change the.
We're not right up in each other's grill. There you go.
Oh,
and Niecy's down there just laughing.
Niecy, get up here. And Dana.
Yeah.
Dana
I'd love to see Dana up
She
here.
doesn't go up on the panel as much as she does lives and stuff.
Yeah.
Did on my birthday, she and Joe did, and he sang to me. That was special.
Oh, I sang to Joe on his birthday, except I messed up the song.
Oh.
But I did sing to them.
Well,
Niecy go up about right before Dana.
Yes, should be.
Well, hold on a second. I'll post the link again.
Well, it's not that far back, so
Hey, Joyce.
Going up wouldn't be a problem, but yeah.
Yeah, it should be.
Yeah, I'm having fun. I have this washcloth, which I love this. I got it as a mill end, and it is Lion Brand Organics, and it is so soft.
Dana, I'm not sure I did see what you said about the brainstorming.
I got some Pima cotton, but I haven't used it yet.
I haven't either. Actually, I don't have Pima cotton. Hi, Niecy.
Hey,
girlfriend.
I have this. Normally what I get is peach cream because it's $2 at Walmart, and I'll get the cone for 15 and go. I have some specialty. It's called Paint Box. You can only get that through lovecrafts.com.
Lovescrafts.com. I've never heard of that website. Where's my phone?
Oh, surely you've heard of Lovecrafts.
Mm-mm. No.
No, Maureen is asking, how did I mess up Happy Birthday? That's not
I'm
the
sure it
song that I
wasn't.
sang.
Right.
What
Retired,
it
you messed
was, hold on a second. Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. There's just something about that name. But then I messed it up after that.
Yeah.
Okay, Nisi.
I bet nobody even knew. You have a beautiful voice, David.
Paint box.
Paint Box Yarns is sold exclusively by the Lovecrafts.com. If you look up Paint Box Yarns, it'll take you straight to it.
Let me pull this up.
I've got paint box cotton, but I don't know where it is.
Yeah, this is the DK cotton. And I have the what they call the chunky acrylic, but it's like a 4-weight.
Mm-hmm.
And I have enough of the acrylic. I've got.
Is there acrylic called premium acrylic or just plain acrylic?
2 seconds.
I think that's a brand level thing. Where a brand will say this is premium this or premium that.
I actually have some right over there. So
yeah, I wonder what is it that makes it premium.
Y'all let me my fat tushy on the stream.
I'm wondering that too. What does it mean when they say it's premium? Like it's the best plastic?
Well, what it means is they want you to pay more for it, basically.
Right. Okay, gotcha.
It's and you know, sometimes what they call premium acrylic, it has a softer touch than standard acrylic. Because I've had some acrylic yarn that I would say gives acrylic a bad name.
Yeah,
you know, the premier Just Yarn that's sold at the Dollar Tree, I think feels great.
I think it's just fine. I like it very much.
Yeah.
Y'all, I'm so jealous of all y'all that have like a Dollar Tree.
Oh, it's $1.25 tree now.
I'm so deprived over here on the mountain.
Oh, you poor dear.
It's $1 tree.
We don't have any of that here.
With all of that scenery and greenery. Gosh, I feel so sorry.
And all those animals that come up in your yard.
How do you manage a 4,000 square foot house? How awful.
My house really is not that big, y'all. It's not that big. Not even close.
Honestly, this is the paint box. And
that's a pretty yellow.
And I'll hold the Just Yarn. The only difference to me is the color.
Move it over a little bit so that it's a little bit more in the camera.
I'll see if I can.
Is that like a creamy light yellow?
Yeah. The one on top by my knuckle is the paint box. The one by my nail is the Just Yarn.
Okay.
It's a little bit
they look extremely similar to me.
Yeah, they do. How do they feel? How they
compare? Okay, now when you hold the skeins up side by side, I can see a little bit of difference in the shade.
Yeah. Okay. Just Yarn, 131 yards.
Right.
Paint box. You'll have to give me a second to find the yardage on it because it's been forever since I.
Granny D, that's the shade of yellow that I told you that I was having a hard time finding.
Oh,
that's my favorite shade of yellow.
The light, I call it baby shade.
Stop it.
Yeah.
And there's 201 yards in this. This is 100 grams, so 3.5 ounces. And the Just Yarn is, where's my weight?
Oh, that is so sweet, Dana.
Dana said the most beautiful thing to me.
Oh, that just made my heart melt all over the place.
Yeah.
That is sweet. Dana's the best.
And this is 2 ounces of Just Yarn.
How many yards?
I won't be able to get my hands on any Just Yarn, but I can get my hands on that other yellow from Paint Box.
Yes,
my husband's going to be thrilled.
Well, if you wanted the yellow and the Just Yarn
or the Paint Box,
I was going to say if I find some more, I'll get it. I've got a little bit, but I want to keep
You can
A little
actually
bit off
order
top.
Oh yeah, if you
online
find
from
some and you're
Dollar
willing
Tree.
to send some over, let me know
Yeah.
and I'll pay for the shipping.
Oh, I'm
Granny
not
D.
worried about
You
that.
can order online from Dollar Tree. I have ordered.
Really?
And but
Yeah.
you can't get
Go to Premiere.
you can get certain things.
Well, if you go to Premiere,
They have it.
remember I have an
Yes.
affiliate link for Premiere. Honestly,
Oh, I
just
can
the
get it
other
that way
day,
too.
I got a
Um,
notification saying
Okay.
that I had my first Premiere affiliate payment coming.
Yay!
It's probably, I don't know, $5 or $6. I don't know what it is, but they
Hey, every
insist on
cent
mailing
counts.
a paper check
Mhm.
instead
Okay.
of transferring the money. But yeah, I've got that Premiere affiliate link.
Yes. And
But
you can go just type in Just Yarn, it will pop up.
Now, my understanding is when we click on for those of you that have the affiliate links, we need to make sure that we need to check out and not let it sit, because my understanding is if we let it sit and then we go back into another time, it no longer connects to your affiliate
You
link.
have
You
to
guys won't get
always
credit for
make
it.
sure it's
I think
Yeah.
that's
fresh
probably
link.
true. I don't know for a
So what-
fact, but I think it's probably
if you're-
true.
If you're
Okay.
not sure yet, go in and shop and see what you want, and then go back through his
Mhm.
link when you're ready to check out.
Yeah.
You is asking how much does the paint box cost?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It is not cheap but if you get like $65 or $75 on the website, it's free shipping. I buy those in a 10-pack because that is enough for a sweater for me, and I do a men's 3X with a lot of these, so maybe a 4X, and that's $30 unless they're having a sale. And the sale,
I bought some yarn through the Dollar Tree website, some of the Just Yarn.
Mhm.
Did you
And
buy
I had
the
it
assorted?
delivered to my local Dollar Tree store, so I
That's
didn't
what I
pay
do
for
too.
shipping.
Yeah.
I picked it up there. It was paid for. I just took the boxes out to the car, and I still have yarn left over from that. If you recall my Granny Square sweater, the gray and brown one, which I really love, I need to wear more. That was all Dollar Tree yarn. And I love to tell people that it was $17 worth of yarn.
Is that
to
the
make
one you
that
got a lot
whole
of
sweater.
compliments on at the men's
I
retreat?
did. I did when I went to that. I went to the fiber retreat in New York,
I bet
and
they
there
couldn't
was a
believe
local
that you
craft
only spent.
festival, and I wore the sweater, and got so many compliments on the sweater.
Oh, okay. Maureen said that you have 24 hours to pay for your cart in order for the affiliate to actually get paid.
Oh, is that true across the board, or does it vary from one corporation
I
to
would
another?
always just make sure the link is fresh, go through it again.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah,
check it out.
figure out what you want and then go in through his link and then dump it in the cart and pay for it.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah,
Like,
that way
most of
you
the
know that
time-
it sticks and they're gonna get credit.
Right.
I mean, I go in
Mo-
through the clearance section a lot, but I haven't ordered
Mhm.
anything from Premiere in a year and a half. So the next time I actually go to order from Premiere, I'm gonna go in and look, and if I see stuff I like, I would have to write it down, and then I'll go back in through David's link and drop the stuff in my cart real quick and pay for it.
Yeah. Most of the time when I order from Amazon, I go through an affiliate link that benefits the
I try to use
ASPCA.
Dana's on Amazon.
Ooh. Paintbox has some pretty yellow
Yes.
recycled cotton worsted weight. 5 balls of yarn on sale for $15.75.
I
That's a
have been
good deal.
staying away
Yeah, that's
from the
not bad.
yarn sites.
How
I mean, because I need more yarn, like I need a hole in the head.
you too, David?
Yeah. Okay. This one is color 221, so it's like daffodil yellow
Mm-hmm.
is what this color is. And this is Paint Box Simply Aran. So this is a 4-weight. Their chunky to me is a 4-weight. A thick 4-weight, but still.
I find that a lot of times the labels are not as accurate as we would wish. Something that is called a 4-weight, I might call a 3.5 or a 4.5.
Yeah, this one is a 3.
Yeah, I just always went by, I thought it was gospel, whatever was on there, until watching Bod, and she's like, this is not a whatever,
Yeah.
Ooh.
And see,
Exactly. And
this
I
is
go
Crafter's
ahead.
Secret.
I'm
And
sorry. Say
This
it
is
again.
Crafter's Secret from Hobby Lobby.
Mm-hmm.
And
One
this
point.
again with the paint box.
And then there's Crafter Square from the Dollar Tree,
Yeah.
which is
and
a whole lot softer now than it used to be.
And it's thin. But see, these two are the same 4-weight. But the paint box is a little bit thinner. I just can't get it to. There it is.
Okay. Yeah, I see. Maureen is telling me you can never have too much yarn.
What Bod told me, she said when I first started, she said, just don't ever say you've got too much yarn.
Yeah, that's one point.
But I do.
I have enough.
Honestly.
Then I thought, well, maybe I should just say I just don't have enough room, or I should have more
Exactly.
giveaways.
Well, actually, that's true too. The people who follow me on YouTube and Facebook and everything else are so incredibly generous. You would not believe the gifts of yarn I have received. Just amazing stuff. So, I mean, I just,
Yeah.
I just can't
I'm
deal
showing you stuff and I'm
sometimes.
like,
I used to have, especially toward the end of last year's Hat Not Hate, when I was trying to just make blue hats all day long, every day, I was having nightmares about receiving more blue yarn in the mail because I did, and I still do. And I'm not saying to stop, but by golly,
you have a wall of blue.
You're getting burnt out on the blue hat thing.
No,
That's
no,
little man's
not at
favorite
all.
color is blue. He loves blue.
That's a Triple C's favorite too.
I have a ton of blue yarn, but I didn't show you. I just did this hat yesterday.
Ooh, no, I love that.
So it's got a little bit of lattice work.
Can
and
you put
some
it on
ribbing
so we can
and
see it?
Make
better?
yourself big.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks beautiful.
Hello.
Okay, let's see. Does that work? I can't remember how to make myself big.
There you go.
There you go.
There we go. Okay.
Oh, I love that, David.
Yeah.
So it
love that
starts with
design.
the lattice work.
Uh-huh.
Then we've got the ribbing, and then one more row of lattice work, and then some more single crochet.
I like it.
And
I
it's
love that.
usually when I make a hat, I just make it up as I go along.
Did
But
you
I
put
might
that
try to
pattern?
reproduce this one.
That's what my walk calls
Yeah.
are.
I could write it up. I probably will write it up.
Yeah.
I
Dana
have
said that looks so good on you.
Roberta, I can't help you there. I literally lost half my stash when I moved. And I
Well,
lost.
Lovecraft is having a sale, just so you know, so you can replace that stash you lost.
I love.
I got the site
I've
pulled
only
up. And
ordered
there's
from there a few times.
Mm.
The kids cleaned all this up for me. I couldn't even get where I used to record is in this corner, the squirrel corner where the bricks were behind me.
Mm-hmm.
But so now they just have this one wall of yarn, which is just day for action. And in this closet, they've got it all nice and organized, and it's got shelves and everything, and it looks good in there too.
Yep.
You know,
But I've got a naked wall over here. I could put that's why I need to go. I've been saying I need to go to IKEA and get like 2 more of the 2x4 units. I think there's
I was saying
ideas.
that I need to that I wanted to take down the books that are on this bookshelf behind me because nobody ever looks at them.
But you said your sister would have a stroke.
My sister was going, "This is still my house, you know."
Yeah.
So
Maureen
I'm
would like
going,
the pattern.
I'm sorry. But
Maureen would like the pattern. She says, if you would could you write it up or do a tutorial on it?
I will write it up. It's actually a very easy pattern. It's variations of patterns I've already done. And in fact, I'm sure most of you know, I have a bunch of hat patterns on my blog already. All of my hat patterns are always free. I never charge for hat patterns because I want to encourage donations.
Yeah. I'll be honest, I've got one of the Centro 48 needle knitting machines. And as soon as I can get my boyfriend to clean his stuff out of the dining room, we got it cleaned up. We got the table moved back so I could have access to some of my yarn that's in there. And then he collects Coleman camp stoves.
Oh my gosh.
What a curious
thing
to collect.
I know.
He knows how to fix them and he knows about what they're good for resale. And
does he resell them for a profit or does he just keep them?
He's got some of each, but he got 13 of them for $100, and that's a major deal.
So what is the potential resale value of those 13?
About $40, $40 to $75 each.
So then at $50 each, that would be $650 for a $100 investment. So how much would he have to put into it?
I didn't realize there was a market for that. Or
he would have to potentially put about $25 per stove in it. So, and then we went over to a friend of ours from church, and her husband had recently passed, and we were over there earlier a few months ago helping her clean stuff up, and he was like, he told her, he said, "You've got 2 Coleman camp stoves over there. If you ever want to get rid of them, let me know."
Dana, honey, you're not fooling anyone. Just sit down, have a glass of tea.
And she gave them to him. What he didn't know is I slipped her a $20 bill for him. Because one of them was brand new, so he could turn around and sell that one for $40 for a $10 investment. And the other one is like 20 years old. So it wouldn't take him much to get that. But but we got
it sounds like the investment, I mean, in terms of dollars, it's not a negative investment.
No.
And in terms of time and activity, it's something he enjoys doing. And so it's worthwhile to him.
But where does he keep that collection?
Right now, I got the dining room cleaned up, everything straightened up. The dining room table went up against the window wall, and got the table cleaned off, everything, got it reset so I had access to my yarn. And my sewing machine, a week later, I've got 15 Coleman camp stoves blocking everything.
Is there not a garage or somewhere he could put those?
Our garage is full of stuff.
I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's only recently I've been dreaming. You know, I've always talked about having a place of my own, but recently I've been dreaming about it as if I could actually make it happen.
You want a man cave, what we call a she shed.
The tiny home thing would be good, but you said they all have lofts.
They don't all have lofts.
Oh,
and I can deal with limited space if it's all my space. But but I but I honestly I have been dreaming about a space of my own as if I could actually make it happen, which I probably could. I mean, there are things that.
You're trying to get disability, right?
Well, there's that. I'm not holding my breath on that.
Yeah, it's going to take a while.
It's been like a year and a half already.
I know people. It takes 5 and 6. It's taken them 5 and 6 years.
Yeah, but at the same
Wow.
time, by the time that might happen, I might be able to build a different kind of business.
Yeah.
I don't see yarn being, I don't see,
A steady.
yeah, I don't see
income.
bod level income for me with yarn, but I can do different things.
You would have a multi-line of income with
Exactly.
different
Well,
activities.
that's what you have to do anyway. You have to diversify. You can't.
Yeah.
Tell
You
you what, my
can't.
Social Security check, I know I've said it a bunch of times, but it is twice what I thought I was going to get. It's almost as much as my pension.
Do you know, 10, 15 years ago, at my age, I would have qualified to file for like early Social Security distributions.
Mm-hmm.
Not
Yes.
so much anymore. I think you have to be older now to file for Social Security.
I just got it. I think 62 is.
All right, guys. I'm going to have to bounce out because I've got to drive 25 miles just to go get the stuff I need from the hardware store.
Okay.
So.
Well, I'm glad you were
good to
here.
see
It's
ya.
been lovely.
Drive careful.
Yeah.
No, I got my 18-year-old with me. I have to drive careful.
Make him
Precious
drive.
cargo. Precious
Jeez.
cargo.
No license. Can't do that.
Why doesn't? Well, not my
Kids
business.
nowadays don't get their license like we used to. We were chomping at the bit at 16.
All right.
I got my license on my 16th birthday.
Me too.
December 8th,
I
1978.
could not wait.
But
I remember
y'all
the
guys have
number.
Stay
My
safe,
license.
and I'm out.
Okay,
Okay,
bye-bye.
darling.
I'm so glad you were. I remember my North Carolina driver's license number 5676909.
I know my driver's license number too.
Of course, it's different now.
Nature calls. I'll be right back.
Okay. Hope everything comes out all right.
Number one. I need a number 2, but it's only one.
You didn't have to share all of that.
Yes, I did.
Anyway, yeah. So I was saying that, yeah, I've just recently, I think it's an advance in mental health, that I've just recently started dreaming about having a place of my own as if I could make it happen, and then thinking about what I would take from this house into a place of my own, because well, there's all of my own stuff. There's a bunch of stuff that is my sister's that she would relinquish because she now has everything that belonged to our mother.
Oh, okay.
Or there's a bunch of stuff that belonged to our mother that my sister would relinquish because she would rather have her own stuff. And then there's stuff that I have bought for us in common or brought into the household to contribute in common. So I don't know. I mean, a lot of that is still dreaming, and I recognize that. I need to make a plan and actually act on the plan rather than focusing on the dream.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually trying to talk myself up right now. Um,
Put the dream into action, baby steps, one thing at a time.
yeah, one step. It's
And you can do it.
that is a huge thing actually for a lot of us
It
with
is.
these huge goals that
Mhm.
can seem insurmountable.
Yeah.
It's just to envision the next step rather than the last step.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
And
yes.
so I don't know how it might be divine intervention or something, but somehow I've been getting a lot of motivational and entrepreneurial videos in my YouTube feed lately, especially in the shorts. Because I will lie awake all night watching YouTube shorts, which most of the time began life as TikTok videos. Um, Not always, but so it's all about acting and acting consistently and doing the work.
Yes.
And in every part of my life where I want to beat myself up, and believe me, there are lots, I can tell myself that I didn't do the work. So it's all about just taking the next step. Well, first it's about identifying the next step, and the step after that, and the step after that, and then taking them in sequence and not trying to skip any. That's what I always wanted to do. I wanted to skip steps.
Gotcha. Get there, try and get there faster. Take shortcuts.
But can't really do that. So here
Yeah,
I
because when you do
am,
that, you miss important steps.
and important lessons.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So and they're not almost always, they're not going to be lessons that you could write down or relay in a tangible way. They're
Of
things
course
that
not.
just have to be experienced.
That's right. Because the other way would make life too simple. Life has got to be complicated.
I want it to be simple, damn it.
I know, we all do.
It doesn't work that way.
No, it doesn't.
And I might have only recently figured that out at 59 years old.
Yep.
So, I don't buy lottery tickets anymore. They call the lottery a tax on people who can't do math. Although I dream about lottery level income. But again, it's a dream. And a goal without a plan is a dream.
That's true.
And you know what? So many of these life lessons I've heard over and over and over and over again since I was young. But it took a long time for them to take hold.
I think that's the way it is for a lot of us. I know it is for me.
Well, that's another lesson that I've learned. I am not terminally unique. I'm not the only person in the world like me.
Nope.
Other people have the same feelings and experience, and I hate that.
You want to be special and individual.
Exactly. And that itself was a hard lesson to learn. But I did learn it eventually. I still learn it every day. All of these lessons, I'm sure I'm not the only one. You have to learn every day or relearn every day. So I can't say that I have a lot of wisdom to share with anyone, but I've got experience.
There you
I
go.
mean, it's like in the 12-step groups, they talk about experience, strength, and hope, and they say they talk about it's not about giving advice. It's about talking about your own experience, strength, and hope.
That is so
This is
true.
what worked for me. It might work for you too. I think that is one of the biggest gifts of 12-step groups is the whole attraction, not promotion thing.
Yep.
The experience, strength, and hope rather than advice giving. What are you working on there? Did you talk about it and I missed it?
It's a baby blanket. It's a baby camo baby blanket for
It
our
looks
tenants.
like a very thick blanket.
Cheers.
It's actually a weight 3 yarn, but it's the waffle stitch, so it makes it look thick.
Waffle will do that to you. Yeah.
It's so squishy. I've been having fun playing with it while I make it.
I've had that
I didn't even
too.
realize it was waffle until somebody asked you about it. I think it was Sandra.
I've done lots and lots and lots of waffle stitch scarves, especially the scrap scarves I used to do when I was in New York, and I would wear them out, and people would just give me compliments left and right because of the colors, because you know me and color.
I love the waffle. I know it's a yarn eater, but I can't help it. I love the waffle stitch.
Well, anything crochet is a
yarn
yarn
eater.
eater.
Oh, here she comes.
Yeah, I'm finally on to the border. So I'm
that's
creating
cool.
my foundation right now, and then I'll start on the main part of the border. So I'm excited.
Hey, Samantha, did you just come in the room? No, Samantha just said hi. I was asking if she had just come in the room.
Hi, Samantha.
Hey, darling.
I think so.
So if I'm missing people in the chat, please accept my apologies. It's not my intention to ignore anyone. But anyway, what was I going to say?
We were talking about life lessons.
Oh, yeah, life lessons. Completely out of my head now. Totally empty head now.
I distracted you with my hook and needle. That's what happened. My hook and my yarn.
Part,
yeah. Are you almost finished?
Niecy's fault. Niecy did it.
Yeah, blame Niecy. It's always her fault. Yeah.
I'm starting the foundation of my border right now. So I am very close. And look at this beautifulness that I have left.
I know you were saying.
You can make a hat with that.
I am making a baby amigurumi teddy bear with this last hank of yarn, and I have just enough to do it.
Gracious.
That'll be so cute.
So excited. It's like
Who
bonus.
was I telling? Oh, it was when I had lunch. I had lunch with Granny Square today. Andrea, Granny Square, my local yarn buddy. And she was showing me pictures of some of her amigurumi things. And I was telling her that I just can't do it right. So I don't do it. Which is, there's a life lesson there. But yeah, I the last time I did an amigurumi object, it was a rude object that I do not have pictures of, and I'm not going to show you right now.
Can only imagine.
Well,
Samantha,
I'll bet
I'm
you
working
can,
on
Granny
a
B.
corner of a shawl using
Mhm.
this thing has a million gorgeous fall colors.
I like that.
It's a Lux Lolly from Hobby Lobby that
Ooh, that's
they were
pretty.
clearance out.
Mm.
They were in the disc, like a lollipop shape, like a disc. But I just rolled it in. My lollipop fell apart. My disc fell apart, so I rolled it in a ball.
I hate it when a disc falls
I
apart.
know, right? When your lollipop falls apart.
You need a firm disc.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been staying away from the yarn shops and the yarn websites. I've been trying to. Although a week or two ago, I went to Joann's with my sister. She was looking for a specific cross stitch floss that she needed. Because honestly, I think it's getting more and more difficult to get cross stitch supplies because I don't think the market is there as much as it once was.
Well, is it that, or is stuff still stuck on boats and stuff?
Oh, there's still a supply chain issue.
Is there?
It's probably
Oh, yeah.
both. It's
Yeah.
probably both. But anyway, so whenever she's looking for specific colors, because they come in these like very specific shades and very specific. I mean,
Yeah,
in yarn
DMC has a gazillion colors.
we might call them like dye lots or something like that. Now, in my printing days, we would give them RGB or CMYK values, but nobody knows about that. And I don't know why. They should have those values in the yarn world, don't you think?
You would think.
But not so much. I should call them up and say, why don't you do this? I think I will.
Interesting.
Go, David.
But specifically because I wanted to make something for a friend of mine in Carolina Blue, which is a very specific shade of a pastel blue.
Mm-hmm.
And oh, hey, love to crochet, Hank.
Tank.
Hank.
Tank. Tank.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so bad with names. I can't even remember
Her
my
name is
own.
Susan, but she goes by Tank. That's Tank's her nickname.
Anyway, I really, really think that would be a lot more valuable to have very, very specific CMYK or RGB values, or both, for every yarn that you put out, especially if it's like one of these large manufacturers where they, I mean, one of the benefits of these large manufacturers is that you don't have to depend upon dye lots because they're always going to be the same, in theory. But I mean, it's not that hard to get some sort of a scanning device that will give you an RGB value for a solid color that you're doing.
I don't know.
But you know, what do I know? I'm only a, yarn designer. I'm only an accomplished crocheter. I'm only someone who buys yarn left and right, far too much of it.
I can't believe it. I got my bonbons, or not bonbons, tots, the little teeny skeins from
Oh, look how small those are.
so cute. These are from South Africa, the Moya.
Uh-huh.
There's Samantha. Hey, girlfriend.
Hey, Samantha.
And there's a huge box of it. I think there's like 100 in this box.
Ooh.
And
Well,
there's
how many
you wouldn't
yards?
think it, but there's like 27 yards in each one of these.
Wow.
I don't understand why they make skeins of 27 yards each.
Well, they're great for like color work and people who do that, or just for whatever. I like minis.
Right.
And for you to see all their color, this is a sampling of like most of all of their colors.
Okay, Caribou
Cape
is saying that my observation about the large manufacturers with the dye lots and the colorways, that she has seen variations when she held on to things and accumulated them over a time period. Yeah,
I most always check dye lots because sometimes it's very obvious if you've got a couple different dye lots. Sometimes not, but
usually if I'm doing a large project, I will have enough, or I will try to start out with enough of the same yarn to accomplish the whole thing, so that I don't have to deal with dye lots. It's only since I've been starting to collect more posh yarns in single hanks.
But I'm saying even with, like Unforgettable, for instance, they're tealberry. Some of the lighter part in it is just like a cream color, but in another dye lot, it was more yellow. I mean, a huge difference. So,
Caribou, if you want to share pictures in the Bearded Yarn Dudes Facebook community, that would be great. I would love to see. Pictures.
I went last night. I went to My Precious Yarnery. Angela and David was on there, and we were having a good time.
Who was on there?
I was watching Angela from My Precious Yarnery last night.
Are you still working on your mosaic blanket? How's it looking?
It looks curled, but it's my first practice project.
Wow, that looks great.
I like it. How long do you think that'll take you?
I don't know.
Do you know, when I was I've said this before. Whenever I meet men who do yarn, I meet these really big, burly men with these huge, beefy hands, working with teeny tiny little needles and very lightweight yarn. And they make some of the most exquisite stuff you've ever seen.
Dainty and lacy stuff.
So, yeah. So when I was at Black Mountain in November, one of my new friends there, he had just started on something that looked like it was going to be perfectly beautiful, which is no surprise. And I'm going, oh, okay, how long do you think that will take you? And he's going, 8 months. And I'm going, 8 months? I don't have the patience for 8 days.
Because I'm so ADD, and I'll pick up a project and work on it a few minutes, and I'll go to another room, and like in the den, I've got projects on this side, projects on this side. I come in here and there's more projects.
3 going on right now.
This is the biggest. Look at this, Granny D.
Yeah.
I
like that color. Is that a teal?
It's not. It's aqua. But that's
the
closest I could find to this. I
couldn't find the teal are usually pretty similar.
I have to use this Karen 1 pound.
Yeah.
And then I got more white.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of the texture of Karen
them.
1 pound.
They're at Joanne.
It's kind of like probably softens up after, in the wash like Red Heart.
No.
I've heard people say that. My issue is I have such sensory overload that I can't
You
handle
can't stand working with it.
Yeah. So that limits what I can use to make stuff with because of that.
Mm.
I want to see your project, Niecy. Your cute.
I'm working on the border right now, but it's just the baby blanket. That's the waffle stitch side.
Aw.
And that's a variegated yarn, and the coloration
The pooling is
color
neat on
pooling is just what happens by nature.
Mhm.
Yes.
I
Yes.
love it when accidental color pooling happens like that.
Me
Mhm.
too.
It's
tried
just,
to do planned pooling.
I've
It's just
never done
gorgeous.
it. I've
I
never even
failed
tried it.
miserably, and I tried and I tried and I watched videos of this one and that one.
Do you know, I was in a yarn group when I still lived in New York, and this one lovely, lovely lady had started a project with planned pooling. With, she had the right yarn, she was doing the right stitches and everything, but there was something she was doing that somehow either added. I don't recall whether she wound up adding or subtracting stitches with
So that
every
it was off.
row, and then it got more and more and more off. So it started out really beautiful, and then it sort of got
Went into the
wonky.
abstract.
And then
Now there's something called assigned pooling, and I forget what the difference is, but I forgot who was talking about it.
I just haven't tried it yet.
Or I don't remember.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff that can be done that I haven't tried yet. I mean, that's why I say that, knitting is a mystery to me, and that's okay because there's still a whole lot more left to learn with crochet.
I love them both, but I need to. I'm just a creature habit, me and my moss stitch and me and this pattern that I do a whole lot of in knitting, but I'm okay with that. Doesn't bother me.
Granny. Granny.
Yes.
Okay, let me show you. This is all diagonal moss stitch.
Beautiful. And I started your pattern.
This
and
is
fiber
some of the
spiders, and it's still about the same size as it was.
This is yarn that I got
pretty.
from Carrie, the Yarny Elephant, when she was moving and destashing. And it's perfectly beautiful. It's very, very lightweight, so I'm using a small hook. This is a 3mm hook. But I am this is going to take me like forever and a day to finish. But by golly, when it's done, I'm not parting with it.
What yarn are you using?
Oh, let's see.
It's really pretty.
It's okay. Let me get that yarn
art. Ooh, I love yarn art.
Let me make myself big again.
What's the shade?
That's pretty.
Angora Active. Ooh, I bet that is soft.
Okay, the color is called, well, it's only got a number for the colorway, which is 850. Okay. The content.
One.
Did you get that from where? Ice?
No, I got this from Carrie, the Yarny Elephant.
Oh, okay.
When she was destashing.
That's right. Yarn art is, where do you get that?
I don't know where you get
Rhodium?
it. It's made in Turkey. This says it's 25% mohair.
Yeah,
75% acrylic.
that's
It's
weird. I've
very
never had an
fuzzy,
acrylic
which
mohair.
normally I don't like fuzzy yarns. This is fuzzier than I would normally go for,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm really digging this.
I got some really fuzzy cakes that nobody else wanted at Hobby Lobby, and I wasn't attracted to them at first. But you know me, if it's on sale, like you say, if it's free, it's for me. Well, it was almost right next to it. And I worked, I did a shawl with it, and I really like it. So I'm glad I got
Yeah,
several
so
different
it took
colors.
me a while to grow to love this yarn, but I do love it, and I've got a bunch of it. So I've got enough to complete this scarf
That's
and
great.
then do a hat afterwards, I
Nice.
think.
Nice.
So I'm like totally digging it. But it's all moss stitch. It's diagonal moss stitch.
I love my stitch.
And you know I love diagonal.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know what's wrong with me that I love diagonal this and that and the other. So who goes online now? Who goes
I don't
live?
know. My alarm just went off, but I cut it off. I couldn't see it because this box was over it.
Well,
don't know.
I think it's 4 o'clock now.
It could be Ola Joe's time, but I
I
don't know.
don't know.
She hasn't been well with her teeth and stuff.
Oh. Lots of people in our community have had issues.
Right.
Mhm. Yeah.
So,
See if I can find it.
well, actually, I could look it up myself. Let me just check.
I went live 2 days ago, Granny did.
I know, and I was out and about and here and there, and I didn't. I think y'all came. Yeah, it was Ola Joe's. That's what my thing was set for, but I don't know if she's, like I say, I don't know if she's on.
Well, Daniel went live starting about an
Yeah.
hour ago. I don't know if he's still live.
Oh,
I
okay.
think he is. Hey, I would check for whoever can find it first.
Do what?
I'm looking too.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. The Royal Opera House at Covent Garden is live if anybody's interested.
Who?
Royal Opera House at Covent Garden.
I
Oh,
love Covent Gardens.
what's Daniel's name? I'm trying to find.
Okay, yeah. So I don't know
Fly
who's
guy.
live right now. Let me
Hey,
check on my
I'm
phone.
got it too, Granny. And he's still on the live stream, though.
Daniel is?
Is it just him or him and Ash?
Him and Ash.
So I'm gonna call it a day.
Gonna
Let's all
raid
go
over there.
over to Daniel, tell him it's a David raid or whatever you want
Okay.
to call it. And I want to thank everybody who's on the panel with me and everybody who's been
I
watching.
enjoyed it, David.
And
I
everybody
enjoyed
who
it
watches
too, for the amount
the
I had to
replay.
work. I had to work, so that's why I came on today too. So
Work is work, you know.
yes, I know.
Good to see you, Niecy, Samantha,
Good
and
to
of course
see
David.
you guys.
Good to see
Yeah,
you.
All
hooray
right,
for
I'll head over to
everybody.
to Daniel's.
Okay.
Call
Thank
him
you, David. It's
Daniel.
a pleasure.
Then let us come
Remember to
up on
call
panel.
him Daniel,
Hopefully,
call me
if he
David.
is,
Don't
I'm
call
going
me
to come.
Daniel or call him David. Because people do that.
Right.
It's cute, but you know.
I know.
Anyway, bye-bye everybody. Thank you so much.